In a small town outside of Spokane, Washington, a man named Travis worked night shifts at a distribution warehouse. He lived alone in a rental house at the end of a gravel road, the kind of place where the nearest neighbor was a quarter-mile away, and the porch light was the only thing keeping the darkness honest. One night in October, Travis came home around 3 a.m., exhausted, and crashed into bed without checking his phone. The next morning, he noticed his Doorbell app had over 40 notifications. 40 in one night. He'd never gotten more than 2 or 3, usually raccoons setting off the motion sensor. He opened the app, and the first thing he noticed was the timestamp on the earliest video, 9:47 p.m. He pressed play. The video showed a woman standing on his porch. She was facing the door, not the camera, wearing what looked like a long, beige coat, soaked through with rain, even though it hadn't rained that night. Her hair hung in front of her face, completely covering it. She raised her hand and knocked. 3 times. Slow, deliberate. Travis checked the next clip. Same woman, same position, same 3 knocks. Timestamp, 10:15 p.m. The next, and the next, and the next. Every clip was the same woman, in the same coat, in the exact same position, knocking the exact same 3 times. But she never seemed to move between knocks. No footsteps approaching, no footsteps leaving. The motion sensor would just trigger. She'd be standing there already. Knock 3 times, and the clip would end. Then nothing for 15, 20, 30 minutes. Then she'd be there again. The last clip was timestamped 4:58 a.m., about 2 hours before Travis got home. In that final clip, something was different. The woman was still facing the door, still in the wet coat. But this time, after the 3 knocks, she didn't disappear from frame like before. She turned, and for one frame, just one, the hair fell away from her face. Travis told a local forum he didn't sleep for 3 days after that. He said the woman's face in that single frame didn't look finished. Like something had started to draw a face and stopped halfway. He moved out 2 weeks later. The footage was reportedly handed over to a local paranormal research group, but Travis never watched it again. He said the worst part wasn't her face. It was that in every single clip, all 40-something of them, his porch light, which was motion-activated and should have turned on the moment she stepped into frame, never turned on once. One evening in late November, around 8:30 p.m., her doorbell rang. She checked the camera before opening the door, a habit she'd developed after one too many late-night solicitors. A woman named Renata lived in a quiet cul-de-sac in a suburb of Columbus, Ohio. She had 2 kids of her own, ages 6 and 9, and like most parents these days, she kept a doorbell camera mostly to catch package thieves and make sure her kids got off the bus safely. One evening in late November, around 8:30 p.m., her doorbell rang. She checked the camera before opening the door, a habit she'd developed after one too many late-night solicitors. On the screen was a small boy, maybe 7 or 8 years old. No jacket, despite the cold. He was standing close to the camera, looking directly into the lens, and he said, clear as anything through the speaker, "Is my mom here?" She said she'd be right back. Renata didn't recognize him. She didn't know any kids in the neighborhood that age except her own son, who was upstairs doing homework. She told the boy to wait and went to open the door. When she opened it, no one was there. She stepped outside, looked both directions down the street. Nothing. No kid. No car pulling away. Nothing. She went back inside, a little rattled, and pulled up the footage to look again. The boy was still there in the recording, frozen mid-sentence, looking at the camera. She watched it again. He said the same line. "Is my mom here?" She said she'd be right back. Then she noticed the timestamp on the footage didn't match real time. The video was timestamped 3 days before. The same day, the same time of night, but 3 days earlier in the week. A day when, according to her camera's own history, nothing had triggered the motion sensor at all. She checked her stored footage from that earlier date. Nothing. Empty log. No motion detected. So why did tonight's doorbell ring trigger a video that was somehow recorded, or at least timestamped, 3 days prior? Renata didn't think much more of it until 4 nights later, when her own son came downstairs at 8:30 p.m. and asked her, completely calm, "Mom, why was that boy in my room asking where you went?" She still has the camera. She told a local moms group she's never been able to delete that clip. Every time she tries, the app freezes, and when it reopens, the video is back in the folder, untouched, same timestamp, same frozen frame of the boy staring into the lens.
A retired couple, Hal and Diane, lived in a rural part of East Texas, miles from the nearest town. They'd installed a doorbell camera mainly because Diane had a habit of ordering things online and wanted to make sure packages weren't left out in the heat. One afternoon, Diane got a notification, a delivery truck pulling into the driveway. She watched the live feed from inside. A man in a brown uniform got out, carrying a box, and approached the door. Standard stuff. She unlocked the door to go grab the package. When she opened it, there was no truck, no driveway gravel disturbed, no package, no man. She checked the footage again. The truck was there. The man was there. He set the box down, looked directly at the camera, and smiled. Not a normal smile. Diane described it later as too wide, like his mouth kept going past where a mouth should stop. Then he turned and walked back to the truck, got in, and drove off. Except the truck didn't drive down the driveway toward the road. It drove backward, in reverse, the whole way, picking up speed, until it vanished into the tree line at the edge of their property. Their property didn't have a tree line that direction. It was an open field. Hal, ever the skeptic, walked outside to check for himself. He said the grass in the driveway showed tire tracks, fresh ones, but they didn't lead to the road. They led toward the field, toward where the tree line had appeared on camera, and stopped abruptly about 60 feet from the house, like the truck had just stopped existing. That night, their actual delivery, a real package from a real delivery company, arrived 2 hours late. The real driver apologized, said his GPS had glitched out near their address and rerouted him through 3 other counties before correcting itself. Hal asked him, almost as a joke, if he'd seen another truck on the property earlier. The driver went pale. He said dispatch had flagged that address that morning. Said a driver had reported the same delivery point twice, an hour apart, but only one delivery was ever logged in the system. When dispatch pulled the footage from that driver's truck cam to check, the recording for that hour was completely blank. Not corrupted, just gray static, the entire 60 minutes, with one faint shape moving through it that nobody at the company could identify. Hal and Diane kept their camera.
but they added motion sensor floodlights to every side of the house after that. And Diane said she never orders anything that requires a doorstep delivery anymore. Everything goes to a P.O. box in town now.